What's up, y'all? It's Nytelife, and this is 4BarLoop, and I have with me tonight, he is in my eyes and in the eyes of many others, one of the Bay Area's most lethal producers. He is a touted Session In family member. He is a Gauntlet champion, and he has this knocking album called King Style that's out now. Let me introduce my friend, Max Kane.
Thank you very much, Knight. That was a wonderful introduction.
Good, nice to meet you. How are you? Thank you. How are you doing this evening, man?
Everything's good. Just chilling. Just got done working on a track. Doing well. It's a beautiful night, and I'm happy to be here.
All right, dope, man. Dope.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and get right into it, man. It's dope to be talking to you, man. Being on the judges side of the Gauntlet, I was beaming with pride because we finally had somebody break through from the Bay Area in the bracket. Somebody somebody from the West Coast in the bracket. We was dominated by like Virginia and by Carolina. So there's a lot of that flavor going on in the brackets, man. So to see you kind of bust the bracket the way you did, I was hella excited.
Right on. I didn't even realize that you were from Oakland either. Like if I would have been screaming that the whole time if I knew that. I would have been acting a fool.
That's how I felt. I was like, oh, he from the Bay. Oh shit. Okay, let's go.
I'm actually from San Francisco. I'm a San Francisco kid, but I've been in Oakland for a long time.
Okay, so yeah, so I got a game at the end of this, man, that I'm gonna talk about. I tried to fit in some San Francisco stuff. I had to call it audible on some of my questions, but nonetheless, man, it should be fun to do. So where did you get your start at as far as music?
My family, man. My dad and my uncle owned a studio on 4th and Harrison, and it just all started there. There's a picture of me on Pee Wee Ellis, who he was one of James Brown's saxophone players. There's a picture of me on his lap when I was like 3 with his saxophone. I guess it started around there. My dad was a musician. My uncle was a pretty well-known musician, put out a lot of records. And so like my parents would always have parties every year. Like the Monkees would be at our house and stuff like that. And just different weird stuff. So like I just always, and I think when I was 11, that's when I decided I was like, I'm going to like be a DJ or something like that. And just from there, like I couldn't do anything else, I guess. So kind of a weird answer, but
man,
that's how it started.
That's dope. So, did you, seeing that you grew up in a household with musicians and everybody was, talented and had a gift or whatever, did you feel pressure to be, to be in the same pocket, in the same realm, to be better? I mean, was there any pressure involved when growing up, under all this musical talent?
No, because I was really young, and then my parents got divorced, and so it went from like being like like that was my life to like my mom being a single mom, a nurse, skateboarding, she's always working, it wasn't really around anymore. So when I was like, I'd say 1 through like 6, maybe 7, when my parents were together, it wasn't, I was just kind of soaking it up. I kind of didn't like it because I didn't understand it. They used to like make me wait in the other room while they would go record. So I kind of like, didn't really like it for that reason, but always wanted to mess with the instruments and stuff like that. And and when I started DJing, that's really like when I started battle DJing and like competing and doing stuff like that. That's when I was like, all right, I want to do this for a living. But I think I just changed the subject.
Yeah, I understood. So I mean, so did your I mean, so what's your so DJing is your first love out of it? Is it more than the production now, or is it just the production kind of creeping up and taking the lead now?
It's definitely it's my roots. You know, I started DJing with records. You know, I used to battle. I was like in the 2003 World Finals for the ITF.
Wow.
My crew, 41 Funk, and you know, I started learning how to play piano about, I forget what year it was. It might have been 2004 or something like that, from my friend Colin, who at the time was the leader of a group called Monophonics. Have you ever heard of Monophonics?
Yeah.
So he's the, now Kelly is the main dude, but back then Colin was the guy, and he taught me how to play keys. Like I learned from start, like fingering and like all that boring stuff, because I wanted to one day be able to produce records. And I like sampling, and I still sample to this day, but I never wanted to rely on samples. So I figured, you know, like learning how to play keys would help do that. And definitely like DJing is my first love. Back to the question, like I still DJ, but I think now I definitely see myself more as a producer.
So, in regards to you playing keys, is it like you learn just to play keys, or did you learn like extensive like music theory?
Like I started like music theory, like you know, like you know, having to like, you know, like having to do that with both hands, like, you know, Colin made me do all that stuff. And my best friend Tico, he was like always really sweet. He'd do all these crazy chord, D'Angelo type chords, and how do you do that? I want to do that. So at the end of the day, it really just, and still just takes a lot of practice, you know. And I'm not a great player, you know, but I feel like I can sit down, I can figure out the chords, you know, especially for production. Like, you know, I could write lines, all that stuff, you know, like I don't like need to be a jazz aficionado to, you know, do what I do. And once I realized that, that's kind of when I went hard on like that's of playing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's interesting to me because I know a lot of people that be like, I didn't learn the music theory. You know, I played by ear and all of that stuff. And music theory, hey, that shit is hard, man. That shit is hard. I was going to school and was trying to sit through that, and I was just like, nah.
No, for
Nah.
real. It depends how far you want to go. I mean, it's like if you're not playing jazz, you really don't have that many reason to learn modes and stuff like that. You could definitely fit them in, and people do, to like R&B and other stuff like that. But you know, I was always intrigued by it, man. I always, for some nerdy reason, loved music theory, and I've played with a couple different bands, which helped knowing music theory.
Yeah.
Definitely. And these days, it's great because I can lick up a cat and be like, yo, the song's in C and it's got changed to D and stuff like that. But I could also see how it's an annoying task.
Yeah, man. I had background. I played trumpet when I was like 13. I was like
Oh, wow.
the Oakland Symphony and shit. And
Nice.
you know, so it's like my bass is there. So it's like it drives me crazy that I just cannot be locked into music theory, because it's just like I just for some reason, dude, it's like a turn off for me. I don't know why. But I could read music, but then at the same time, it's like, okay, music theory, and it's like, nah.
That's not for you, man. That's not for you. I mean, that's what jazz is. It's cats that were like, man, forget that, man. Look, you know, just play what you feel, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what producers do. You know, producers, I mean, that's foreign to producers. I mean, so, yeah.
Yeah, man. So moving along, you being raised in the Bay Area, who were you listening to that kind of got you going as far as like a producer?
I mean, like, well, I just like, because I could like a lot of records. So, I mean, I like a lot of stuff. I have a pretty broad liking of stuff, but I mean, there's obvious things like Dilla and stuff like that. There's stuff before that, like whoever produced those Houdini records, like to me, like who produced One Love by Houdini. Do you know that? Do you know who produced that?
I don't know the history. No.
I don't know the answer to that either. But like that definitely was like what got me. Like I remember hearing that and being like, okay, like this is it. This is what I want to do. But I grew up listening like to Bay stuff. From Mac Dre to Too Short to like all that type of stuff too. Lil Bruce. You know what I mean? All Frisco stuff, Rapper Forte.
Yeah.
But I also always like, I like Mobb Deep, I like everything. So it's weird. I just kind of listen to everything.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing that that I was going through too when I was growing up in the Bay. It was like, man, we was Short, Spice One, the Loonies, Drew Down,
Dangerous Dame.
You know what I'm saying? The usual 415. We was listening to all of that, but I was still into Big Daddy Kane, Ice-T, Nas. I was out Jay-Z. I was into people that Mobb Deep, like you said. I was into all of that. I was into stuff in other regions, and still was that influenced my pen. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't. They would look at me and like, man, you don't even write Bay shit. You're not even a Bay Area. You're not even a Bay Area rapper. You don't rap like that. You rap like somebody are you from the East Coast? I'm like,
right.
So I used to do that shit a lot.
Yeah, some will say, I mean, no hate on the Bay, but I have heard about a Bay curse. Cats repping the town too hard and being cursed by it or things like that. So I think it is good to be well-rounded.
Yeah, I mean, we had the golden era where we couldn't miss, and that was a special time. Everybody was coming up and everybody was getting plaques and all of that type of shit. But
was that the Hyphy area? Was that the Hyphy era?
No, that's not the Hyphy era, bro. That was back in 93, 94.
Right.
We back.
Father Dom and all that.
Yeah. So Short, Dangerous Crew. Like I said, the Loonies. I mean, there were so many artists that couldn't miss. I mean, Spice had plaques. You know what I'm saying? It was like they could not miss.
Ye-Ski
they was eating that shit
up. Records at the time.
Blast If I Have To. That's a cold record, bro. That's a cold record. Ye-Ski, I used to love that shit.
Yeah.
But man, so getting into that kind of spinning off, so who are your mentors? Or is it just one of those things where you just kind of, I'm doing my own thing and I pick up what I pick up?
No, definitely not. I have a crew called 41 Funk, and there was 4 of us, and it is me, my boy Tico, Because, and Mr. B. And Mr. B was like the battle DJ. Because is like our old school, like he knows everything about every record. He's a record dealer. He's like really well known. Tico is a master wizard producer scratcher. You've probably heard of Tico. And I'd probably have to say Tico was kind of like, I mean, we came up together, but I was always trying to be like him. I mean, we grew up scratching at like Cubert's house and, knowing cats like that, knowing other musicians and stuff like that. But I'm gonna give it to Tico, man. I was always seeing what he was doing and being like, man, I want to be like Tico. Like, even though he's my boy and my best friend, he's a bad dude. So
Yeah, and having a best friend like that, those are some of the best people to learn from because they're the ones that are not gonna bullshit you.
Yeah,
If it's not good, they're gonna tell you, hey, you know what?
yeah,
That's trash.
absolutely, absolutely.
Don't put that out. So you need, if you looking, and then them type of mentors and stuff that are close to you are the ones that's the hardest on you too. And you need that. You need that, that unbiased, like kicking the ass sometimes when you're not doing the things that you need to do. And when you have those people that are close to you like that, it's a little bit easier to take that from somebody being outside and being like saying some shit like that.
No, it's true. And I hadn't had that like DJ battles. Yes, like I've done DJ battles. I had this one DJ battle where Slick Rick was performing and Wu Tang, and it was thrown by Cool Cigarettes, so it was free. It was at 550 Barneville. I don't know if you remember. 550 Barneville was like out by Hunters Point in Frisco. Big spot. You could fit about 1,500 people there. And long story short, the battle was before the show, and I was in the battle, and the show was taking forever, and people were mad. And when they said that there was going to be a DJ battle, and I was the first one to get on, I'm talking about 1,500 people throwing things at me, you know. So I never wanted to go into any kind of like critique battling thing or anything like that. But when I started entering some of these shows, like the Gauntlet, I think I came to the Gauntlet through Kelsey. I really and I mean, dude, like number one, the Session In, like
Yeah, absolutely.
like that's number like that. The first thing I should even mention is like the Session In is like I had never been to a situation like that, you know. So it helped me, dude. Like it was crazy because before that, yeah, I did have friends that were really good, but it didn't really rub off on me like the way it did during quarantine for whatever reason. So I'm really thankful, you know, for the Session In because man, those dudes like, you know, they told me. I remember the first time I went in there, I went in there because of my boy um, Wonder, and Slop was clowning me. He's like, "Who's this Trump supporter looking dude?" He said,
That sounds like some shit. There's some shit Slot would say, man.
he said some punk ass shit. I was like, "Damn, bro," like that. And but I love that. That's my shit. And so once I learned how you know that's when fools talk shit, that means they like you, and I like that. And that really got me pumped to try to be like actually take this production somewhere.
Yeah, and that's funny because that was like my next question as far as Session In, man. Let me tell you, we went over there, and this is just me as an MC going over there. I was intimidated as hell
It's
because
intimidating.
I looked around, and there was so many accomplished producers that was there. It was
Right.
almost like a fucking round table of producers that was just dope. And so you're in there, you got your glasses on, you got your hat, and you just the coolest fucking person there. Period. Nobody could tell you shit. I don't think nobody could get you riled up. You just have the same even kill, and then you wait your turn, and then all of a sudden you play these bangers, and everybody's fucking jumping out of their seats and shit, and it's like you still sitting there like, yeah, all right. And it's a dope experience, man. I really love going to Session In. I'm definitely gonna be coming back because that environment there, um, the way that they take care of their community and the way that they take care of their producers that are in there and the way that they welcome people to come in there, it's like it was just amazing to see, man. I mean, with us doing the Gauntlet, we have a different variation of that, but at the same time, it's still the same mentality. It's like,
Right.
we want these people to grow and get better, and you by far, man, it's just like such an amazing talent, and it was just so great to even have you over and having over here in these brackets. But again, Session In, man. Shout out to Slob. Dope. Just atmosphere. Period, man. I love being over there.
It's to nurturing the culture. It's like before quarantine and stuff like that, like I remember meeting producers and seeing what they were doing and talking to them, and like I was like, man, where are the cats that are like us? You know what I'm saying? I know they exist, that they're somewhere, but like before this, I knew who I knew. I knew a couple cats here and there, but it's dope when you finally get to meet your people and stand together and do something significant. That's what the session in is. It's something to nurture everybody. It's beautiful, man. I'm lucky to be involved like the way I am, because they help. Because you should watch the first episode I was on. I looked, acted a lot different. Serious.
Nah, man. I think, like I said, that what happens over there, and producers that go through there come out different because of what you see. Just phenomenal talent. There's people there that was in there that I had never heard of, and I'm not even ashamed to say that I never heard of them. But I was just like, wow, man, this shit is like, it's like walking in a museum you ain't never been in. You start just seeing all kinds of different shit, and you're like, wow, this is crazy.
Too many producers there to know everyone, anyways, and a lot of those cats I had no idea they existed until that, and I was like, oh my goodness, like this is serious. It kind of took over my life at one point. And yeah, I think that's what got me to being here with you right now. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
A year ago, I'm a after school program director, so I teach kids how to make beats basically after school, and it's great. I love it. But there's nothing like doing what you really feel like you were put on this earth to do.
Well, and that's the thing too that I wanted to talk about with you, man. It's like you taking on the responsibility and to be able to teach your gift to others, especially kids in this time where kids need things to be able to latch on to and need things to do. There's too much shit, too much stimulation for them going on, too much bad shit that's out here.
Right.
For them to have that talent to be able to lock in and do production, you teaching them things, you basically providing that love to them. And I know that they all appreciate that. So it's like, what's some of the things that you're taking away from that experience with, as far as having the one-on-ones with the kids and teaching them and all of that stuff?
Patience. A lot of patience, because there's a situation where I can get mad every day, and they have taught me to be chill. I haven't been able to work with them since quarantine. I do have one student that I work with over distant learning, I guess they call it. But yeah, patience. The fact that when children are not like, they don't know what's cool or not cool, or what's not cool, they can do some crazy stuff. Like you're like, wow, like how'd you learn that? Maybe they saw their pops, or maybe they saw it on TV. But kids are amazing. They can do some amazing stuff, and I would love to have my own facility where they could just come like after school and just kind of like sit down and make beats. There is a place in Oakland called Youth Radio, which I'm sure you're aware of. But yeah, I'd say patience.
Well, I know for sure, man, that's gonna come true for you, because what you're doing and how you are not only carrying yourself, but the production that you're putting out right now, man, is gonna be turning people's heads, and pretty soon it's just gonna get to the point where you ain't gonna be able to hide out here no more, man. You're gonna be out on Front Street, and everybody's gonna wanna fuck with you. I just think I feel like that's coming, man. You got way too much talent, to not be next level. You should be next level because of what you know and your skill set. Nah, man, you should be next level.
Well, I appreciate that. Um, what I want to do is just make it enough to where I could take my friends and do some dope, and that's it. I don't need like all the crazy stuff or nothing. Like we've gone. I'm almost 42. We've gone this far, like just being normal people. You know, um, don't need fancy things. Just really want to make sure that like the legacy of the music gets passed on to the younger generation, and they keep this funk, this slap, this what's the word they would say in this head, like boom bap would be a word they're using the East Coast, whatever it is, to keep that alive. Because I feel like it was about 2017. I was DJing a lot, DJing like most clubs in Oakland. I have a residency with Big Von's little brother Lex.
Hey, Big Von.
Yeah, Big Von's my man. Big up. But a lot of the music that me and Lex were playing, like it sucked. It sucked, and I was like, damn, like it was hard. It was hard to deal with. You know what I mean? Like it might have been more like 2018. I'm gonna use like, well, what is his name for an example? I can't even remember his name, but there was just a lot of really bad records.
Yeah.
And at that time, I just knew, something. I knew that if I could do something to help change this situation, I would do it. Now, that hasn't happened yet, but that's my goal, because you can't. The frequencies in the clubs had people really feeling a certain way when they walked outside of the club. And you wonder about like the crime rate and all that stuff, why it was so crazy around that time around Oakland. That music, the frequencies, like you could play that stuff. I love that stuff. I'm gonna say D-Lo. I'm gonna do all that. But these new cats, they was just going back to back to back to back to back to back to back with all that stuff. And I ain't talking about no Big Von or no Lex, nothing like that. I'm talking about some other cats that that were around, and it made me not want to DJ anymore. And it made me want to like figure out how to like put some of that soul back into the into the scene that used to be in the town.
Yeah, and that's a critical point, because I think what happened was during that time, people figured out that you could do the least amount possible and still get the like the looks and the listens and the following. It was more of the person itself, the animated character itself, than it was the music, because the music was basically
personality. It's like a radio personality.
Yeah, right. It's 4 sounds and bass, and you'd be lucky if you even got that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you have that. You have the content that we're talking about. It's like, okay, well, yeah, I see you outside, bust you over the head, all type. Okay, when you doing that, and like you said, if you got a whole lineup of that shit where all of that shit sounds the same anyway, it's just gonna run together. What do you think people's gonna do when they walk outside? They're gonna be looking for somebody to punch in the face. It's not, it's not, bro. It's or shoot. It's not. It's not even like, it's not even a question. So yeah, the music, like you said, the frequencies have a lot to do with that. And the energy that creates, you gotta have a balance, and I think that balance is what was missing during that time. It's like we talk about Pac. Pac was, he hit him up, and then he had Brenda's Got a Baby. There were different things to offset, and you need that balance as an artist. DMX was the same way. DMX could talk about, killing people and beating people up and all this shit, and then he'll come back at you with, we'll come at you with a smooth joint or whatever. Or you have something that people go, okay, well, I have to have something that's gonna be knowledge based. I have to be able to give back to my community, at least with a couple of these tracks, because I'm over here telling them to party your life away and spend all their money. And so they had that balance. But the new cats that came out during that, and I'd say during the hyphy era, like from what 17 on, it was like
the hype year was way before that,
bro. I mean, and yeah, you're right. And during that time period, it was like everything was turned up, dude. It was turned up. And it's like you cannot have situations where you're turned up all the time.
Yeah, it's you know, I think I remember when electronic like edits started getting big, and like 8-bar edits for DJs. So like when you go DJ, there's that 8-bar edit, so you can just be like boom, hit the key, and then it'll run. And I remember everybody for whatever reason like mastered their songs, and their waves were just like huge, and like that mastering reminds me of like that time. It was like very extreme, and like I don't know, it was just too much. Excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, that shit was wild, man. That shit was wild. It's just good now.
We DJ on First Fridays, so I watched First Fridays, and so like I watched it become pretty chill to become pretty out of hand pretty quick. So hopefully it comes back strong.
Well, it seems like that it's kind of rolling itself back now, because now it's starting. I think the mood is starting to get to, okay, we have to have more. There has to be.
I DJed out there last week. I DJed at Lucas the last 2 weeks. I mean, people are coming back out, and they want to be out. I think that what I've seen is that places get mobbed, and these places in Oakland are not clubs. There's like one club in Oakland, New Caribbean City. Name another club. It's a club. They're bars, and so like they don't have 10 security guards strapped up. You know what I'm saying? Like it gets crazy. So like I would think that I just hope they're ready, they're prepared, because it seems like people will just mob places.
Yeah, and that may be the case. That may be the case when it happens. I'm hoping it does the opposite. I hope what it is that people go, okay, you know what? This really gave me time to really be able to see and appreciate what we have out here. Let's not fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? Let's not tear this shit up to the point where they closing shit down, because instantly that's what happens. Somebody shoots outside, or somebody gets shot in there or whatever, and your favorite spot is closed. So hopefully this will, people being able to be to themselves a little bit and not be able to get out and do shit, didn't make them too stir crazy, and to the point where they could just go, okay, well, you know what? Let's just act right, man.
I'm with that 100%. And to be honest, it starts with a DJ. There's all kinds of music, but you don't always have to play all those crazy songs. If you're a good DJ, you know how to make it. I mean, you can't. It's not 100%, but a good DJ knows how to control the crowd. And if you're a good DJ, you shouldn't be having all that fighting and aggression. You should be playing for the women, and
Yep. So getting back to the production end, let's go ahead and talk about your creative process in regards to that, man. It's is there a consistent routine that you go through? Like it steps like, okay, well, do you approach the melody first, or do you melody or sample first, or do you just approach the drums and then build from there?
I usually do melody first, whether it's like writing chords or a sample or both. So I definitely sample, but I always look for samples without drums, and I always try to play something. So like I'll find a sample, and then I'll go down on my keys and I'll start playing to it to see if it would make sense. And then I'll probably put it into Ableton and then just start chopping it up. I don't have any pads or any fancy stuff like that where you do all that stuff. I just kind of sit there, and I might think about it for a while, and I'll think, and then I'll and I'll just kind of shift stuff around, and then I'll just keep shifting it around till it sounds right.
Ableton is the little stepbrother of all of the DAWs, man. And it's so slept on. It's so slept on. So when I was doing production, man, and learning how to use the chops and the warp and all of that shit, and it was just like that was, oh my god, I didn't know what to do with myself.
Right.
Because it made things so functional, man. It's just like it's really the perfect dock because it can do everything. But people turn their nose up at it.
And I don't even really do any of that stuff. I just use it like I could use anyone. I don't really time stretch. I just change the pitch of the sample, because when you time stretch it, changes it messes with the quality.
Right.
So, and I use a lot of like analog stuff. I'm a very analog guy. Like you can see, like analog. I like synths.
Yeah.
I like real things that you could like, use. Like so yeah. So I like to play stuff out. So maybe I'll take like a little sample, and then I'll put some drums, and then bam, and then the rest is just all synths.
Yeah, you definitely get that feel, because like I said, man, the last Gauntlet, you came with some shit. I was like, all right, bro.
Thanks, man.
And I hope I didn't offend you by going, there's no way that's Max. there's no way that's fucking Max. I cannot believe that's Max. I have to check and see.
No. Of course you didn't.
Shit, man.
Nah, man, it's crazy because everybody's really dope, and I found the Gauntlet through Agent M, and I just came and sat in, and I didn't know nobody, and I think I think it was like me and you. We kind of like vibe, and I was like, cool, I'm gonna come back, and I just ended up coming back, and since then I've been working with Agent M. Like that dude's really dope, man.
Agent M is a fucking monster, dude.
And he's a great dude too, man. Like I really fuck with him, man. Like he's a solid cat, definitely.
Yeah, and you know what? That's the cool thing too about this whole situation with the Gauntlet too. I don't think that I've met a producer in the Gauntlet that I haven't liked or haven't got out. Y'all are all like, I'm like, Jesus. So this is the planet where everybody is fucking cool, because it's like I can talk to people offline, get down with them, man. It's like we don't, you know what I'm saying? There's no egos or nothing. It's just like, all right, man. They want feedback and all of that stuff, and it's like, dude, I'll be thinking to myself like, oh, I'm little old me, rapper guy, I don't produce or whatever, and and I'm telling them about their beats and giving them breakdowns and critiques and shit. I'd be like, man, you don't get the fuck out of here. But that doesn't happen. It's like people are really receptive to that shit. And
they should understand it's a battle. It's that's you entered. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't want to hear about yourself, then why'd you enter? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and how are you gonna learn if you don't, take a chance? You know what I mean? So, I salute, man. I salute anybody that enters it. Because it's not easy. I know, you don't see the producer at the Gauntlet. You just see you guys. But I'm sure, like a lot of producers, their hands are shaking. You know what I mean? Because they worked hard. You know what I mean? That's their ideas. They worked hard at it. So, it's not an easy thing to do, man. To just go out and do. And yeah, I salute guys.
I love you guys for putting it out there like you do, man. This shit is hard, and I know that with production, man, it's so the MC has such the easy fucking road. It's like, oh, give me the beat, I'm gonna go ahead and lay my vocals on it, and it's cool, and yeah, I'm done. But y'all have to really get in and build something from the ground up. Place the sounds where they need to go at the particular levels that they need to go, and make sure everything meshes together. Make sure your drums are hitting. There's so much stuff that y'all have to do. So when you guys get to that finished product and y'all put that out there, I have a strong appreciation for it. because I know how long that shit took. It wasn't like, some guys got the pre-made templates to do the shit in 5 minutes. Yeah, but you really, there's love in that. It's like cooking. There's love.
Yeah, exactly.
Put love in that shit, and you can tell with the type of production, with the outcome of the production. Man. It's like, nah, that feeling's addictive to get that every other week, and to have somebody make you feel like, fuck, this is amazing.
No, that's great, because I went to school to be a chef. I started off doing that. I'm an eater. My uncle's a chef, and I always use that comparison about food and music and how the two are very similar. So I mean, the fact that that made you feel that way it just warms my heart, because I didn't know. You know what I mean? I didn't know what was gonna happen. You know what I mean? My homie, I'm an old graffiti writer. My homie made the design. Like, everything just came through, that we've been talking about it for forever. I didn't think it would actually happen, you know what I mean? So for it to be on vinyl and it plays well, like, dude, I'm just thankful, man. I'm thankful.
Yeah, man. I mean, the things that you've done with that too, it's like, okay, you put out the record, King Style, that we're gonna talk about in a moment. You did that. You have your merch game set up. I think you're doing a really admirable job as far as how you're promoting yourself.
Thank you.
And you it's just like, I think it's a cool package. I think it's like, man, I feel like if I don't have it, I'm missing out. And you have to have people believe that for them to buy your shit. Like,
right.
I'm not in. I gotta buy this. I'm not in.
I'm into it.
So that's where it comes from. Even down to the sunglasses, that type of shit is like, okay, well, hey, this dude right here, I already know he locked in. If he got his sunglasses and his hat on, he's serious. He's serious about it.
I appreciate that, because like, this is really me. I mean, like, this was, for people that know me, this is just an extension of me, and so thank you, dude. Thank you, because for so long, yeah, I was definitely like clowned on and just fools pushed my head away. Just get the fuck out of my way, white boy. So it feels good to finally, do something that people appreciate. It's crazy. It's like, it's honestly, like, it still hasn't hit me yet. With the record, because I put out a record before that, and there's a story behind that, and I thought that was gonna be like really cool, and it didn't end up happening that way. And so I'm thankful that people mess with King Style, dude. Like, it's beautiful to me. Like, it's beautiful. I'll be forever thankful.
Yeah, man. I seen that and heard that you had Kev Choice on there. Kev Choice, I really like that guy. I really like him.
He's the man, dude.
As an artist, and all the shit he does, the talent level, the playing the piano, the playing doing the orchestra shit, doing the community shit he does. I just vibe with that dude on a whole level, man. He's a fucking excellent artist.
He might be the mayor of Oakland one day.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that. Kev is a really stand-up guy, man. I've never personally met or talked to him, but I feel that way in his presentation, that he's like a real.
Well, there's a really interesting story to how he ended up on that album. It was actually kind of a violation on my part. He put up a Facebook video of him playing piano. I took it, I sampled it, and I made a beat out of it, or I made a track out of it. And I hit him up, and I'm like, you've been hacked or something. I already knew him. And so I was like, I said something stupid like that. And he's like, what? And I put in the track. He's like, whoa. He's like, this is tight. And I'm like, yeah, maybe it'd be cool if I put it on the album. He was like, that'd be awesome. And he's like, next time hit me up and let's do it in person. Okay. And I was like, no doubt. But but yeah, so I actually sampled that from Facebook, which is pretty interesting that the quality sounds so good.
That's just a testament to you. You made it great, man. That shit doesn't surprise me as far as what you do, man. It doesn't. You know, that's a happy accident. You know, thank goodness nobody was offended by the fact that you took it and did it. And
right, I called him. I had to have Tico call him right away. Like, that was like the first, like, before I even put it on like Instagram. It was like, yo, I gotta call Kev and make sure like it's all good first, and he was all good. Yeah.
Yeah, so shout out to Kev, man. Kev,
Shout out Kev.
you know, may our paths cross one day, man. Because I really, like I said, I really like to tell that dude that he's a shit. I like that. I like that guy, man.
He's always rocking, man. He's like, he doesn't stop. He's doing this. He's doing that. So, yeah, man. Salute to that guy, man. I'm really thankful to have him on the album.
So, in regards to with production being as time consuming as it is, how are you fitting in your family and personal life into what you're doing that? Because I know that takes a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, I guess it was only because of COVID. I mean, me and my fiance, we live together. So, during the day, she does her thing, I do my thing, and then I usually stop about 9, and then we chill. And then on the weekends, it's always just me and her. So, but like, I haven't seen my sister forever. I've only seen my mom once because of COVID.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But other than that, it's usually not a problem. I mean, she's right there. She's so she comes in the studio and jams out and stuff. So I guess I would say I'm really lucky because I have a very, very supportive support system.
Yeah.
So it works for me because of that.
Yeah, it's always nice to have somebody in the house and ain't finding issue with that shit. Like, oh, you gonna be done with this shit? Cause I got that. It's like, man, they into it. They vibing. Let me sit here and be in the moment with you while you create. Now that shit is super dope, man.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't be any other way for me. Like, it wouldn't be. Yeah, she has a big musical history too. I call her and I'm like, babe, is this good or is this not the one? And she usually knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, you need the ones to be able to give you seal of approval, because I'm telling you, if you don't win the house, you ain't winning outside. It's not. My
right.
I play my daughter some shit, and my oldest daughter's a hip hop head, and she like hip hop head, like a historian, way back research, all that shit, and it's like she's and she's 15, so it's like she'll go, nah, Dad, that's not. No, that's not it. Back to work. So
she's getting old enough to do a feature, because when you 13, 14, 15, your voice starts changing. She's getting old enough she can get on a track with you.
You know what, man? The thing about that is that, man, I tried to find somebody that wanted to take the keys of the kingdom, but these kids is not even focused on that right now. Maybe they'll roll back and figure out that they love it and come back to it. Man, I tried to get my youngest son involved. I tried to get my oldest daughter involved. I tried to get my youngest daughter involved. It's like they was just, the attention span is just too short. It's like, yeah, man, I'm trying to go watch YouTube. I'm out.
I already know. I mean, with the little ones, I mean, they were more involved with these videos of making clay than making beats. like you're like, what are y'all watching right now? A clay video. Like a clay. You watch people making clay, like that's what y'all do. Like
dude, the most infuriating shit is when they watch other people play video games.
Right. That's what Twitch was made for. Twitch was originally made for that.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
My son is sitting there just watch. Oh, what are you watching? Oh, I'm watching them play Call of Duty. Like, why aren't you playing Call of Duty? Go pick up your phone and work. But I know it's money in that shit, so it's like, I can't. I'm not gonna turn my nose up at it, but that shit's weird.
It's not antisocial. It's just a weird kind of social. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different kind of social. Like, I used to think the internet was like evil, and like that the interactions between the internet, all of it was like complete garbage. There is definitely some value to it, but they also need to understand. They're gonna need to get into a fist fight at some point too. And if you're behind the computer the whole time, that ain't gonna happen. And so when the littlest thing happens wrong, you're not gonna be able to deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's what we have is, the cats that are like, maybe 22, 23, 24 that moved to San Francisco to get a job for Twitter, whoever, that's who we have. We have people that don't even have any life experience or know how to act. And man, nothing against like Twitch and all of these places that you can go do digital cool stuff, but get into the world sometimes. You know what I mean? Get into the world. And I see you as a father, you having your kids play sports and stuff like that. That's it. That's what it's about, dude.
Yeah,
that's what it's about. And I'm afraid these new generation of people, they are missing the point of that. They would rather they go out themselves and play sports than have kids do it. So
yeah, and that's scary. The scary thing is like you rather pass up an opportunity to go meet somebody in person, but you rather have a headset on and be on a game with them. Like, y'all go ride your bikes or something. Go outside. Go
right.
do some shit.
All right.
It's like it's a weird time, man. But I think, everything changes. Everything changes with time. So
I got faith in them, man. We're gonna keep staying on them. Giving them something to look up to and something to that is cool. And I think that they're gonna be all right.
Yeah. So the last question I got before we get into 4-track mind is who's on your bucket list of artists to work with? No name too big or small.
It's crazy, but Kendrick, and then D'Angelo, and then wow, that's hard. That's tough. I feel like Schoolboy Q, Kendrick. I like. Griselda. If I could do it, I would do Machine Conway. I really like him.
Yeah, Conway's a monster, dude. Benny is one of my favorites.
Benny's insane. I like them all, really. I don't know. There's a lot of people that list is like keeps going and going and going and going. Anderson .Paak.
Yes.
The stuff that he did with what's his name? That producer from Europe. To the tip of my brain, and I can't remember right now. But the dude from Europe, like he did "Am I Wrong?" Song "Am I Wrong?" Featuring Schoolboy Q. Only one at a time.
Yeah.
Pomo. The stuff that Pomo and Anderson .Paak did. That's something that I would like to do with artists. Like that sort of dance style that's not corny.
Yeah, and you can pull it off because you got the range, you got range, you got Curry range. You can pull it off, man. You can pull it off.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into 4-track mind. just a series of questions. It's gonna be either or. You can pick one. I might ask you why. I might not ask you. But we're just gonna go and we'll go rapid fire. Okay, one producer for a joint album that you got to work with. Banks or EA-Ski?
EA-Ski.
Yeah, no hesitation.
Yeah.
All right. You got two artists, one feature slot. Drew Down or Short, both in their heyday.
Oh, Short.
Yeah, that was easy.
Yeah.
You got one group posse cut that you need to have one group perform. Is it going to be Hyro or is it going to be Dangerous Crew?
Oh, Dangerous Crew.
Oh, yeah, I was shocked. I would have thought Hyro on that. Hyro, yeah. All right.
I like Hyro. No, I like Hyro. But Dangerous Crew, like Ant Banks, that's all you gotta say for me.
Them posse cut records for Dangerous Crew were always banging. And they were crazy. Like Bad Influence is one of my favorite groups of all time.
If there's a pig and it says Secret on the label, best believe that's something I'm picking up and grabbing. You know? But Dangerous Crew was on 69 Girls.
Yeah, they was on 69 Girls and then Dangerous Music and then Jive.
Got you.
So yeah, man. All right, so the next one, you have one feature, two artists. Let's go, Mr. Fab or Richie Rich.
Rich.
Good choice.
Fab's my man. I've known Mr. Stan the Man for a long time. I love him.
Oh, you know, Guitar Man Stan?
No, Mr. Fab's. I shouldn't be calling out his real name.
Okay.
No, who's Guitar Man? Wait. I do know who you're talking about. You're talking about. Wait. He goes by Stan. Yeah, the guy that plays all the guitar from
right.
Yes.
Bro, he was. So when everybody says Stan, I automatically go to Guitar Man Stan. Stan, my sister used to go around and sing hooks for Bay Area rappers.
Oh wow!
And so I used to be a little studio rap all the time. So I used to go with her. She did Mac and AK. She did Black Dynasty. She sung on the Governor shit. And so Big Mac and AK. So she take me. I love
that Big Mac record.
Yeah, man. She take me to these places, man, and take me to these studios.
G-Man Stan.
Yeah, G-Man Stan. Yeah. So Stan would always be the one that plays guitar. He plays guitar in a lot of this shit that people don't know about. So Stan was so great. Stan used to treat me like he used to treat me good, man. When I used to be there, and seeing him they'd be like, all right, man, Stan, I need you to do this. Can you do this real quick? And he'd be like, all right, and then he just fucking play that shit like it's nothing. Like,
right, yeah, he's that guy. No, Stan's that guy. Stan, he knows my boy. Josh knows him, and he met Uncle St. Charles. He had helped them digitalize a bunch of their old stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, a bunch of the old before E40, some of St. Charles' stuff. Excuse me. But yeah, Stan, he worked security. I'm trying to think about where I DJ'd at, and he worked security. He was like, yeah, man, you played one of my songs. And I was like, huh? And he was like, yeah, man, I played guitar. It was like on like Selly Cell or something like that. And he was like, yeah, I play guitar. I'm G-Man Stan. I'm like, oh man, I know what G-Man Stan is, man. Yeah, man. Like, cats like that don't get enough credit, man. Like, cats like that should be paid. There's one cat from the Bay that's like that I know that produces some insanely big records, and he's a guitar player that goes by G Coop. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He produced like Bad and Bougie. He produced a lot of records.
Oh wow!
But he's like a guitar player. Like he'll take a blues solo. Like he's a straight guitar player.
Yeah, that's like Pee Wee. Pee Wee, that used to run with Dangerous Crew. Pee Wee used to go play on them basses like on I'm a Player. Oh my God, that's one of the best fucking bass lines of all time. Dude, that comes on. Dude, that is crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Pee Wee played the shit out of that, dude.
Yeah, that's a cold one. That's a cold one. So I'm saying it's like if you're from the Bay, you hear that, or you hear say how. I mean, it's over. It's just over.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. Yeah, that was funny. Shout out to my sister Plachette Gilkey, man.
Shout out.
Plachette Atkins. Oh my gosh, she's gonna kill me for saying that. Plachette Atkins. Yeah, she was going around, man, and my sister was dope, and she tells me I'm still dope too. Watch. So moving on, so you need a Murder by Track committed, and you got 2 artists, but you got 1 space. Is it Spice One or Yuck Mouth?
Oh, it was Yuck Mouth. I haven't heard Spice One in a long time, and Yuck Mouth did an album with Pete Rock 2 years ago.
What? I never heard that.
Why did perform it at Hyro Day?
Oh my God! I got to get my hands on that.
It doesn't exist.
It don't. Oh
no. What? But they're friends and they like kick it. Yuck is a legend, dude. He's like, yeah.
I got a Yuck story too.
Let's hear it,
man. So I'm over with I forgot what it was. Seidel. You remember the rap group Seidel?
Yeah.
So the governor was over there. The governor, the Gov had a song called "Hustling Is the Final Frontier," and Yuck Mouth was on it. So I'm over there again. My sister is singing the hook or whatnot, and so Yuck walks in, big old afro blown out, nods his head at everybody or whatever, man. Walks in the booth, one takes that bitch, walks right out and leaves, dude.
Right? That's how, yeah, man. When they did that stuff all the time. That's how the Jacka was, man. The Jacka, he used to just like, because I was real good friends with the Demolition Man, and he'd be around all the time, and he would do stuff, and he was one take Jake. He's one take Jake all day. Excuse me, I'm right here. Just hold on one second.
It's okay.
Man, the Jacka was cool, man. Like the Jacka was always really, 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 really cool to me, man. Like that dude should be mentioned all the time in Bay Area stuff because, man, like it wasn't until later that he, started getting like radio recognition. Before that, his lyricism, like he sounded like, to me, he sounded like he was from New York. Mm-hmm. I thought he was. I mean, I just think he's like the illest, dude. I just think he's crazy.
Yeah. Jack was crazy, man. Like he found, the thing about him is that unlike a lot of Bay Area rappers, which kind of fell into the same tempo, same cadence, same flow, he found crazy ass pockets, and he was like him and Fab do that great. Like they find weird ass pockets. Finding spaces and beats where you didn't think people would be able to inhabit, and they just jump in there and just be in there, and it's like, damn. And then that charisma comes out, man. And that was another thing that was just like would make it crazy on records, because it's like, dude, anything you say, when you had that type of charisma, they believe you. He could tell you that he flipped over a car, you believe that shit.
He probably did. They I don't know if you remember the Demolition Men. They used to put out CDs, but those were my guys. And there's one CD in particular called Animal Planet. There's 3 Animal Planets. One hosted by Mr. Fab, one hosted by the Jacka, and one hosted by the Hustler. And on each one of them, my friend Ivan produced a bunch of tracks, and they just freestyled over it. dude, to this day, when you listen to it, it's so sick because it's like New York style beats and it's them just like freestyling. So sick, so sick, so sick.
Yeah, I used to love that. I used to love that, man. I used to love that. Like my my era when they was doing that, man, was when Hyro and fucking Hobo Junction was going at it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
That was some of that fucking battle that they had on fucking KML was just legendary, dude.
Took me a long time to actually hunt it down at that age, man. Like to actually listen to it, like it just took me like over half a year to actually even first listen.
Bro, we was staying up because we knew it was happening. We were staying up and we fucking hit record on the radio and sit there with it. Nah, I got it forever. Like shit, that shit was crazy.
I mean, Saphir was like, is a real gangster. So,
Yes.
I mean, I know Cats was a little shook. They had to be messing with Saphir, man. You know what I'm saying? That dude he ain't right. He crazy, man. He crazy.
But he was so fucking talented though, man.
He's my favorite. Hobo Junction is my favorite.
Man.
I can recite
Who Riders? Oh man, you can't tell me shit, dude.
No, I love the Who Riders. I do love the Who Riders. My shout out to my homie Joe Quicks who produced a lot of that stuff. Joe Quicks produced a lot of those records, man. He produced the Bums. He produced that record, man, from the Bay Area. Anyways, shout out Joe Quicks, man. He produced a lot of those Bay Area records.
Yeah, man. Just Hobo.
And shout out TJ Fuse, man. That's the homie.
Yeah. So I think we made it through questions. I had one more. I don't even know if this is even a fair one to ask you, man. we talking about spots to eat. You come to the town.
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right. So we going Giant Burgers or Quick Ways?
Giant Burgers or Quick Ways? Okay, Quick Ways is gone, right?
Yeah, but when it was there.
And then Giant Burgers is the one that was on San Pablo.
They had one on San Pablo. They had one on.
Is that the one that's still on MacArthur?
Yeah, it's on MacArthur. Yeah. They have. I think they got two on MacArthur.
That one. That one's cracking. Yeah, that one's cracking. I never even. I didn't know it. What? No. Wait. What? The other one was the one behind Lucas, behind the gas station.
Yeah.
That was Quick Way. No. Quick Way was
a little over by Grand. It was over on Grand Avenue. It was over on Grand Avenue. It was over in that area.
Oh, the one that was next to the Quick Way.
Right.
With the fried food.
Right. The greasy ass, the fucking the paper bag, the greasy ass paper bag with the fries and shit.
Quick Way was hella good. And then what was the bar? It's the layover now, but what was the bar before that?
Oh, I don't remember.
I'm asking already. Hold up.
No,
I went there once. No. There's a story. I went there once because I couldn't go as a white boy, and my homie Ronell. I was told Ronell, I was like, bro, take me one time, and we went there. It was not the Fifth Amendment. It was but it was right next. Quick Way.
Yeah, Quick Way is shit. I love Quick Way. My dad used to bring that shit home from work. He'd stop at Quick Way and bring that shit home. That and Everett Jones.
Oh, Franklin.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Whew, that shit making me hungry. I ain't ate yet, so I'm stop.
Yeah, I haven't eaten either. Good tonight.
Right. So, all right, man. So, for us to round this out, man, once you go ahead and get the people as far as where they can find you at, I'll make sure I include that in the video as well.
Okay, thanks. No, I appreciate that. It's just, the easiest way to hit me up is at Max Kane, MAXKANE. That's how you spell it on Instagram. And I take pre-orders for the records. Here, let me show you guys what they look like real fast. Or not pre-orders. I take orders. I take pre-orders. I said pre-orders. I mean orders. I'll ship it out today. I have that thing to you fast. So, you know, all these tapes, they're going to Japan, but I got a couple that I'm gonna sell. Maybe like 8 left that aren't going to Japan.
Yeah.
Those are the tapes, and then I got the wax, King style, blasted.
Oh, bro, you know I'm hot because I told you to sign mine and you didn't sign mine.
My bad, but you know what? You're right there. So I'm gonna get to you. You should come to Soundtrack's release party.
Oh, when is it?
It's soon. It's like in a couple weeks. I'm gonna be DJing. Tico's DJing house shoes. It's gonna be lit.
Oh man. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it'll be in downtown Oakland. It's next to the Tribune building. It's like on 13th. So, but yeah. So, you know, if you want to get one of these, man, they're. I'm very thankful that they're going away, man. You know, I took a chance on it, and they're almost gone. So, yeah, man, if you're gonna put it on order, do it soon.
Go to Bandcamp, and you can pick all of those formats up. You can get the tape, you can get the record, you can get the CD, you can get, you know what I'm saying? You can get
no CD.
No CD. I'm sorry. You can get the download. But man, just go to Bandcamp, and then man, we gonna, you know what I'm saying? He gonna get the best cut off that too. So make sure you go Bandcamp.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And you know, me and Knight been talking about doing a little project together too. So that's gonna happen. And yeah, you know, just could be around doing fun stuff. You know.
Yeah, and I definitely look forward to that, man. It's an honor and privilege to be able to work with you, man. And, I'm hella excited about that, man. So
likewise,
y'all will hear that. Y'all will hear that soon. Y'all will hear that soon, man. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna go on ahead and get up out of here, man. Thank you for your time, for coming through, man. And
no doubt.
You know, so we're gonna. Yeah, man. Absolutely. And we're going to have you back again because I'm pretty sure you're going to have another project rolling around.
I hope so. God willing.
Oh, man. What you mean? You got this, man. You got it.
God willing.
Yo, so we'll play out with King Style, one of my favorite tracks on the album.
Thanks, man.
So we'll go ahead and get out. Difficult roads often lead to most beautiful destinations. Shoot your shot. Go for the win. You might make it. Peace.
Peace, Knight. Appreciate you, bro.
I said, ooh, that look right. I'm gonna go every Sunday now. Next thing I know, I started getting better and better. As I realized I knew to get better, I said, oh man. And then that's when I really got loose. What? What the fuck? Oh shit! What the fuck? Yeah. Oh shit! What? What the fuck? King what? King style. Shoot, I got styles already that's more complex that nobody know about.